Welcome to Toffee Blue View, your source for all things Everton. I'm Gerry. Here's David and Max. It's a new year. It is. My calendar told me this. So we haven't done like a year in review kind of thing. So instead of doing that, we are doing a best and worst of 2017, which is interesting because that actually encapsulates 2 half seasons from an Everton point of view. So it's weird because when we think about the best player, the worst player, it literally is from one half of a season and another half of a season. That signing, best signing, well, it's not from the first half of 2016. It's just very going cross-eyed just thinking about it.
I feel what makes it worse as well, sorry to cut you off, but is there's 2 contrasting seasons
So
as well,
different.
aren't they? Which just makes it so much harder.
Yeah.
But see how it goes.
So we'll be naming our best and worst stuff, and then inevitably a lot of these will have a little explanation of them because maybe your best player is also not or is not your best signing. You know what I mean? Because one happened a different year. For example, that's what happened to me. So that we're gonna start with our best. With who do you think your best player was? Your best Everton player in 2017. Max?
So I'm inclined to say Wayne Rooney.
Mm-hmm.
I think purely because I've got him down as my best signing as well. I know a lot of neutral football fans view that transfer as like the prodigal son coming home, but from an Evertonian perspective, I kind of interpreted that transfer as a potential shift in the mentality that the club's carried for so many years. Really, it's bringing in a winner into a squad and a club that just lack complete winning mentality.
All right.
Idrissa Gueye is my player of the year. I think last season he was a revelation. And kept up that form going into the new year of 2017, and then he did have a difficult spell, I thought, over a couple of months this year. But when the whole team is, it's hard to kind of put any responsibility on him. And just over this last month or so, I think he's got back to his best. And when you think that we only paid about £8 million for him on that previous summer, yeah, I think he has to be my player of the year.
Yeah. So I'm just going to let everybody out there know, not only did David not give me the memo about the pullovers, but he stole my best player and literally everything I was going to say about the best player, word for word.
What actually happened is I seen Gerry's sheet of what he was going to write, and I said, I thought, I haven't done my research again. So I'm just gonna say whatever Gerry says because I know that he lets me go first.
The mistake was actually cheating off the American guy's paper, David. That's where you went wrong. So yeah, honestly, Ghana's my guy. He came in and was immediately impactful. We're a different team without him. He's everywhere. I mean, when you're amongst the European leaders in interceptions and tackles, you're having an impact. I think the fact that we paid what little we did to get him is insane. Sometimes Everton gets fortunate with their signings. That's the thing. So that's my best player. The next category, worst player. I struggled with this one. I'm just going to go ahead and say it because a worst player can sometimes be a player with a lot of potential. Because you can't measure potential when they don't actually do anything. So,
I feel like some comebacks coming my way.
I don't want to ruin anything. All right, I'm not gonna step on your toes. All right, so who wants to go first? All right, because I'll go ahead and tell you, I don't even know if mine's a good answer. I'm not confident.
So, do you not want to go first because you went last
Oh,
time, and I don't want you kicking off over it, giving me a tough time.
yeah,
Okay, okay, I can go first. I can. Okay. That way, you're not going to be expecting me to come back at you sometime in this
I
segment.
feel like a professional outfit would probably just ask each other beforehand, but we're like, go on, what's yours? We'll take turns of these.
I also like the surprise. You know.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah, we want everything to be genuine on this.
yeah.
Yeah, we don't edit these at all. So we definitely didn't have a 10-minute conversation about Frasier last time we recorded. All right. So my worst player, if you'd have asked me just after Koeman left, I would have easily said Cuco Martina. Despite the fact that I didn't think he was as bad as people said, I still would have said he's the worst. However, he's actually made some impact since Sam came in. Has done not nearly as bad as you expected. Max, I see that look. It's not nearly as bad, all right? He has helped us get clean sheets. There have been games where he led us in tackles. I'm not even kidding. So I can't say Cuco Martina, all right? I'm going to say a player that has had very little impact, but he's only had half a, and I think he does have potential. Davy Clausen.
Mm.
You know, I just think he's not even making the squad now. Even Sandro was making the squad, and we paid. I mean, we apparently we overpaid for Davy. I hope he kicks ass. I really do, and I feel guilty for even saying his name, but it's just it is what it is.
Mm.
Who wants to go next and have a much better answer?
Man, changed. Now you kind of mentioned that. You kind of sprung another name right into my head. The kind of name that's ultimately like the second name that pops into your head as soon as you mention Davy Clausen. I was going to say Ashley Williams, but I think his form's recovered dramatically as of late. Mm-hmm. But I think it's only fitting to say Sandro Ramirez, really.
I thought about that too. He was my first answer, actually. So I'm totally with you on that.
Yeah, definitely after, the under 21s or under 23s, the Euros that he had in the summer, he just looked like the real deal. And I know that's a phrase that gets thrown about a lot in football with all these abstract players, but Sandro Ramirez, Barca Academy product, was banging them in for a relatively average side in Malaga. And you just think, we can be his big break where he can be the leading man and bag, and he just hasn't adapted at all.
Yeah.
And what really kind of rung a bell for me was Sam. He wasn't even prompted to talk about Sandro, but Sandro was the first name that he mentioned when he was talking about attacking players, not having the impact that he'd have liked. So, I think Sandro's been the most disappointing player.
Now, what I hate the most when somebody says they're not going to do something and do it, and that's exactly what you've just done to me, Gerry. You said you're not going to stand on my toes, and you stood square on me big toe with heels on, mate. Right? Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna add another answer onto mine, but mine was Clausen just because it's not just the lack of performance on the pitch. Clearly he's not doing enough off the pitch either in training because he's not even making the squad, and I feel like when your confidence is low, maybe that can be used as an excuse when you're out in front of 40,000 in the Premier League, but behind closed doors, there's only you and the other players, and you've got to be performing there and getting yourself in a position to be picked, and he's clearly not doing enough. So Clausen. And another one for me, which some people may disagree with, but something that me and Max actually spoke about, Gerry, whilst you were on the loo.
Now they know I used the bathroom, David. No one ever thought I went to pee, and now they know. Thanks, man.
Yeah. Well, normally you just do it in that bucket in the corner, so it was nice he's actually going to use the toilet.
It's a coffee can, David. Get it right. Okay.
I can't relate because mine wouldn't fit in there. That's all you mean. Yeah.
Only the classiest jokes from our show, folks.
I mean, that joke could go on and on. I was about to talk about getting the lads out to unravel it, but I thought, no, we haven't got all night. Yeah, but no, another real disappointing transfer for me actually has been Keane.
Yeah.
I think I was expecting a lot, and there was talk of fighting off the likes of United to get his signature, and I just think he hasn't looked terrible, but I think he's looked so bang average, and he was meant to be almost our kind of defender that we were going to build our team around, certainly defensively over the next 5 years, and I prefer him not to be in the side at the moment. So yeah, Keane and Klassen this year have been really disappointing for me.
Yeah, early on in the year, I thought Keane at the time was our strongest player, because he was getting player of the match. He was looking all right, and then his confidence gradually went down. Yesterday, against United, that blind stab that he just did at Pogba, it was really difficult to watch. So I mean,
I always feel like he's a yard slower than everybody else, and he's just slow to react, and his challenges aren't great. And you said it before, Max, gone ahead like it's 20p pence.
His head has just been awful because there's been, I think against Chelsea it was as well. He had a really, really good. He was unmarked, Gladys Street end header, and he just ballooned it over the bar. So, yeah. He's disappointing.
Yeah. I want to make sure everybody out there knows, though, we are not writing these players off just because we said that they are, our worst player at the moment. It's just they're ones we thought were our worst player in 2017. These are players that could fully come back and be amazing. All right. So yeah, before,
and we'd be happy.
Yeah, we'd love that. Next, best signing. David, why don't you go first?
Probably the only one I ever thought.
Bloody hell, that was said with a bit of malice there.
The atmosphere in the Toffee Blue Towers is getting a bit steamy. No, I think for me it's probably Pickford. He's just being relaxed. He's definitely not the final product by any stretch. I think his kicking's a bit suspect sometimes, and even the odd goal he's been a little bit suspect for. But when you think about how poor and unbalanced the defence has been at times, and he's still been really solid for us. So, and you can see the class that he's going to be. He's going to be a great goalkeeper. Suddenly, you're no longer thinking about getting a goalkeeper again. Like you felt like for so long with the likes of Howard and that, you're always thinking we could probably do with another number one, like a real number one. But you just feel like we've got that position sewn up now. So that's very happy with Pickford.
Go on, Gerry. Just get it out of the way. Come on, don't start with the drama. Just get it out of the way.
It's Pickford, just like David. Max, who's your pick? Totally serious too. Yeah, I really, honestly, it's funny. Like Idrissa Gueye was my best player, but because he was not technically signed in 2017, I couldn't say he was the best signing. So I also think Pickford by far has been our best signing in my opinion. And now Max is going to refute the hell out of it with his next words.
Mine, as I said earlier, I was going to be inclined to say Rooney just because of the kind of shift in mentality that bringing him in indicates. But I just want to touch on that what David said there. I remember conversations from, say, 5 years ago that I was having saying, I think we need to bring in another goalkeeper. So to bring in Jordan Pickford, who looked like he's going to be the best keeper that Evans had. Well, I don't want to sound harsh on Howard, but Howard did go considerably poor towards the end of his Everton career. And, I don't think I'd be pushing the boat too far and saying I think Pickford's probably the best keeper that we've had since Southall. But I'm just so... I had a bit of diversity to the park. I'm just going to say Rooney because I just... The mentality that he brings to the side, that winning mentality, the winning every inch, contesting decisions from referees that we would never have done
Yeah.
To be fair, Rooney would have been my second.
Mm.
Rooney would have been maybe my 11th or 12th. No, of course, no, because you're talking about a player and a captain, you know.
Yeah.
So it's not just his play on the field, which has looked mature for the most part and intelligent, scoring goals with his intelligence. Now we're talking about the worst signing. Okay, Max, your turn to lead.
Again, it's kind of it's a toss between Klassen and Sandro. You know, I could give you 10 minutes on each of them, detailing how much promise that the pair of them had. Really, you know, Davy Klassen, Ajax captain, and that is an achievement that shouldn't go. You know, shouldn't just be overlooked. I mean, becoming Ajax captain is a huge achievement. You know, to have the adoration of those fans like he still does today, and you know, from when I've watched them as well, almost Frank Lampard-esque in Holland, and you're thinking, you know, maybe he can come over here and match the intensity of the Premier League and be a really influential player, and it just looks like he's just failed miserably at that. I don't want to write him off because I still do feel he's got the potential to be a massive player, but he's just, you know, to not, again, as we reiterate week after week, to not even be involved in the matchday squads. You know, similar to Sandro when he was getting left out the squads from the summer that he had to, and the promise that he's shown, to shut that down is, even by an Evertonian's perspective, it's shocking.
Mm.
And I couldn't pick between Ramirez or Klassen for the reasons that I don't really think I need to echo them. Just huge disappointments compared to what they looked like they were going to bring.
I'm going to say Klassen again, just because Sandro has a goal, and he's actually making some matchday squads lately. And Klassen cost more money. He cost about 4 times what Sandro cost. So that's why I don't know. Again, when I watch Klassen, there are things I appreciate about his game. His one-touch football is intelligent, but there are things that he's lacking: athleticism, his ability to be able to push the ball forward, which is what we need right now. We need a Ross Barkley kind of character who can push that ball forward and start connecting the defense and the mids with our strikers, with our forwards. And Klassen hasn't really been the guy to do that. So yeah, again, I appreciate certain things about his game, but right now I have to call him the worst signing because Martina's been contributing. So yeah. So let's stay negative. Your worst moment of 2017.
Getting 5-0 by Chelsea away. It was embarrassing. It was watching it and thinking, "What am I watching?"
Was that this fall?
It was early in the year. I think it might have even been in the January of 2007.
Are you sure that wasn't
Sure,
2016?
that was November. Yeah,
Was
November
it?
16, yeah.
I looked it up. That's the one. If that's the one I'm thinking of, I was like, because I agree that was awful. So so I think that's 2016.
No, that goes how much that's kind of been on my mind, and one of the worst ever really.
Terrible.
I've got, and I hate to do this because it's using up games here, but I've got 2 really. One was United when we got beat 4-0, just because Lukaku getting that kind of, you know, get one over on us, and the way he reacted was a sickener, to be honest. Plus the performance wasn't great, but then that Atalanta, I don't think that can be top for me. And that was a dark moment. That was by far the most bizarre Everton game I've ever been to in my life. I've never seen Goodison Park like that, and then to get beat so badly by such a, and this is no disrespect to Atalanta, but they're not a massive side in Italy, and to be beat so comprehensively was just embarrassing. That was a real low point. That.
I think we're gonna have different answers. This is awesome. It's a first. Mine is weird because the score for my worst moment was actually we drew with the team. I was really, really, I don't know, I got really down after the Apollon home game. giving up that late goal where they were a man down, right? I hated that. I was livid because additionally, that result kind of made me start thinking, I don't think we're going to be back in Europa League. I think we are going. I think this is the worst.
Yeah. Can I just, because now you've mentioned that, you kind of caused a little spark in my brain. Can I just go for the away game against Atalanta? Was that 4-0 or 3-0?
I think it's 3-0. It's 3-0. We might.
Shite as well.
I'm thinking, Jesus, because it was kind of I think it was the first game as well.
Yeah.
The campaign.
It was.
Yep.
Yeah.
You're thinking, announce your intentions, because obviously we got off to a rough start in the league.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we can get a run in Europe, and to not even. I mean, granted, we all knew that we had a relatively tough Europa League group, but we still kind of expected to be topping that, and just think it echoed what was to come, really.
We might discuss that game again.
God, I hope not.
Just saying. It might come again. So.
Tease him.
That's right. Carrot. I dangled the carrot. All right, so let's get a little bit more positive before we start weeping. Best moment. And we are going to go best game, worst game after this.
The 4-0 against Manchester. I think that's what I was getting mixed up in, because that might have been the January of 2017. 4-0 against Manchester City.
Mm-hmm.
Personally, for me, this is just a personal opinion. Pep Guardiola is probably, in my opinion, he's the best manager of all time. And to embarrass him and beat him 4-0 at Goodison Park, that was big. And the performance as well. I think in every aspect of the pitch, we just outclassed Manchester City. To see what they are now.
Mm-hmm.
Under his guidance as well, to be one of only 2 teams that he hasn't beaten in his career. I think that's Everton, Celtic. It's a great feeling.
Yeah, mine was the same, 4-0. But it was one of the rare, when you really look back on the year, it's one of the rare kind of great moments we've had. And yeah, it was a great performance. It was the biggest defeat I think Guardiola's ever had in his managerial club career. But yeah, that same for me. I enjoyed it. Everything went perfect. John Stones had a stinker. He was at fault for one of the goals. Tom Davis scored a fantastic solo goal, and Lookman come on his debut and scored as well. It was just a perfect day.
My best moment was Davies' goal in that game, in that exact same game you're talking about. It was awesome.
That moment where Ronaldo chopped between Yaya Toure and I can't remember who else it was, but yeah, it's to start off the move and to finish it, and then to knee slide and dive into the Gladys Street. It's stuff of dreams. Stuff of dreams.
I think he went next level that day, didn't he?
Mm-hmm. It was also, I mean, I don't know if we need to go into our worst game, all right? Because my worst game was the Atalanta, loss by 3, where it basically, I felt like it was a genuine punch in the gut. You will not do anything in Europe this season. That was my worst game of the year.
Yeah. That was
know.
the first alarm bells, wasn't it? That, oh shit, this isn't going to go to plan.
Like, this is for real. That hurt. And my best game was the same Man City game, 4-0. That was just
There's not many
high.
to choose from, is there?
No.
There's not many to choose from, sadly.
We've just had another kind of stuck at the glass. Well, not even that, because we've even fell below that. I was going to say, but we're just at the glass ceiling, really. But
we're not even at the glass ceiling, are we?
We took a dip now, and we're just like one of these mid-table clubs. It's just not what you want to see from the club that you support.
Yeah. The good thing that happened in 2017, we did manage to secure European football. That was great. That was a good thing that happened in that year. And I'm trying to move this into a positive since we're so shit right now. So, something good did happen in 2017. It's not the worst year in the world. for Everton, but it just happens to be ending on a not great note. So, anything else, guys? Anything else you want to go?
Bring on 2018.
Yeah.
This is going to be our year.
May 20. All right, cop.
I was like, wait a minute, we don't say that. Nice.
Oh, let's just try and achieve something in 2018. I know we've got Liverpool on Friday in the cup, but if we can get a result there, let's try and run for the cup. Or
you know what I'd like to see, which I think is achievable, genuinely, forget silverware and stuff. I'd like to see Everton just going back to winning some big games again, whether it just be a Goodison. I feel like we constantly fold under big games and pressure, and it'd be great to wouldn't it be great to beat some of the top six, maybe if we win the derby or not for Hardy, I don't know, but even we've got another one at Goodison late in the year, win that one and just start getting a bit of belief back in big games. I think if we could at least do that this year and finish the year still in a couple of cup competitions as well, like the League Cup and the preliminaries of the FA Cup, then we're on our way back, trying to have a strong finish to the season and then build on it next year.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the idea of having to set up defensively and try to stave off the other team, to be able to figure out a way to actually get some chances against the big teams.
Yeah.
I think that'd be a solid goal for this coming year.
Yeah, I think the current squad is a really awkward squad to have, because with us being so poor, you still don't know whether we need a complete overhaul or whether it's just a few adjustments. I've seen a few fans kind of discussing that on Twitter after the Man United game. Someone feels like the current Everton squad might take 5 to 10 years to completely overhaul and start looking positive again. But
I mean, no disrespect to whoever that was, but I think that's crazy, because it doesn't take 5 or 10 years to overhaul a squad, in my opinion. But I think the squads can change very quick now, especially when we've got a bit of money behind us. I don't know, maybe you two disagree, I'm not sure, but that 5 or 10 years seems very long-winded. And Man City were, within 5 years they went from being a nothing side to winning Premier League titles. So I think we've got a better squad than what they did when they first got that oil money. So, so I think some fine tuning is what we need, and maybe the right play in the right position.
I think it's going to take 2 years. 2 years to get Champions League caliber squad. I'm gonna totally split the difference between what you're saying and what you're saying, because it's the best chance of me being right.
I don't see Everton. If I'm being completely honest, I don't see Everton being a Champions League team.
Yeah. I don't think it's the personnel though. I think Everton have just got a really well. I don't want to go back into it because we're going to finish on a low. We'll talk about it again, I think, later in the week, given the fixture that's coming up. But we've all spoke about it before. I just think it's the mentality within the club. We haven't got a big club mentality.
I think that's where the 5 and 10 years is coming from, because I don't think it just mean the squad. I think the complete mentality of backroom staff, who's in charge, etc., etc. So yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
This is actually, I think, a really good subject for a separate video.
Yeah, we will.
You know what I mean? Because it's another one of those genuine questions that right now there's no answer to. There's no right answer. All you can do is come up with something you think works and be able to back it up with evidence, and that's the best you can do. Because all three of us are like, yeah, we think this because of this, but it's all, guesswork, really. It's a good topic, though. Damn, it's a good topic. And only the people who give a shit about the club are going to have this conversation. You know what I mean? Anyway, we should probably end this. 2018 needs to be better than 2017.
Yeah.
That's what we're going to say.
It really does.
All right. So can we put a bow around this? Wrap it up? Feeling good?
Let's wrap it up.
All right. So that is our 2017 best worst list. If you're digging the videos, please subscribe. really close to 300. We may actually be at 300 by the time these videos hit the web. Thanks a lot for that. Leave a like, leave a comment. Let's talk. What are your 2017 best worst? You're probably going to rip ours a new one. That's fine. We're good with that. Check out these guys' work on the Toffee Blues website, both of them. They have lots of stuff on Toffee Blues website. All right. Additionally, David's got some stuff on the Sportsman. And but yeah, I think that's it. We will bid you adieu. Thanks a lot, and we'll talk to you later in the week. Bye. Cheers.